Welcome to a short Nonsense Wars production featuring my Tiny Wheel version 1.1. I built the original module quickly for the Great Ball Pit 2019 challenge, and I took it apart shortly after because I wasn't happy with some aspects. The chain drive gave the wheel a lot of slop, and I suspected that the weird fork geometry combined with the flat output prongs could cause jams. I have recently been converting modules and looking for modules to convert to shared power, and the tiny wheel came back on my radar. The strange forks on version 1 served two purposes. The different prong lengths prevented multiple ball pickups, and the bushings allowed easier last ball pickups. I had already seen backlash in the wheel stall balls on the flat output, and I thought the bushings could catch on these balls and jam. In version 1.1, I address multiple pickups by raising the side barriers and final pickups by lengthening both prongs to 5.5 studs. It can still struggle to pick up those last balls, but it usually eventually gets them. I reworked the drivetrain even more than the wheel. I used the same 1 to 15 net reduction, but I changed the layout of the gears and shafts in order to accommodate the shared power input and output. A perpendicular axle in the middle of the module drives the wheel with sturdier cranks rather than an untensioned chain. The placement of this axle reverses the input and output, but I consider this a feature. The wheel must run in one direction, but I can change the input direction by placing it leading or trailing a powered module. Unfortunately, the motor placement does not allow a powered tiny wheel to connect to an upstream module, as a connector pin will interfere with the gear on the motor. I find this limitation also present in my 10x10 stepper, acceptable for small modules in a shared power system where every module can drive or be driven. While testing the tiny wheel with other connected modules, I also discovered that knob gears make great couplers, as they can gear or couple without any modifications. This was the first time I used the variable batch module to test a ostensibly new module with the 30 ball batches that are in the official spec, but probably not tested enough. The tiny wheel generally handles large batches well, but balls can occasionally arc with the full 30. Extending the input area would definitely fix the problem, but at least for now, I'd prefer the current compactness of the module over the ability to better handle the edge case. Finally, we can see the tiny wheel driving a few other modules with shared power: the 10x10 stepper, the fan, and the extensible tower. The new slanted output ramp should line up perfectly with the edge of a connected downstream module. I suspect that you don't want to run much more than this off a single motor, but of course it depends on the size and the load of said modules. As far as reliability goes, I worry a little bit about the wear on the crown gear and the 8-tooth gears, but the mechanism itself should do fine. On that note, this is the end of the video, so have a nice day.